W.B.L.A.Z.E.
Hey, it's Job. Let's get journaling. So today we are creating a 2-page spread for the April 15th, which was that was a Saturday, and that was the Saturday that I watched Coldplay live in Seoul for their A Head Full of Dreams tour, and honestly, it was amazing. This was their first time coming to Korea in their 17 years of creating music, so it was a very special concert for them, and I think everyone in the crowd just had a great time. But I think I've been babbling enough, so let's talk about what's happening on the screen. So basically, I went through my folder of scrap papers and pulled out this grid paper, which has a green background and blue grid lines, and I have a white or cream colored ledger paper, which I'm gonna tape or glue to the right page, and the green paper is gonna go on the left page. And I wanted to make a very colorful spread since the logo or album art for A Head Full of Dreams is super psychedelic and it's basically rainbow themed. So I wanted to pull inspiration from that, but I didn't want to create a rainbow themed spread because it's not really my style, and I wanted to create the same effect but with a bit more muted colors. So I chose a green and red and yellow color scheme. It sounds like it doesn't all match, but you'll see in a bit it'll end up turning all right. Anyways, so for the date, I'm going to use a post-it and use it as a background, and I'm going to tape my tearaway calendar sheet on top of that. And this new tearaway calendar sheet that I'm using is not that great. I mean, it does the job, but every time I tape or glue it, the paper is just way too thin and it just buckles and creates a whole bunch of creases on the spread, and it just doesn't look... It looks alright, but if you look closely on the spread, like if you see it in person, it's a little bit wonky looking. But enough of that. I am going to be working on a brush lettered quote to go on the right page of the spread, and I'm using this really old craft paper. I think I hoarded this from my Baumkuchen order, and I think this is from last year, and I think it has some permanent creases on it. I can't really fold it out to get rid of the creases, so I just embraced it, and it looks really cool and vintagey, and it goes with my look and style. So I'm going to use it, and I'm just going to brush letter the lyrics for Yellow, which is I guess one of my favorite Coldplay songs, and I'm just scripting out the lyrics. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, in dark orange and a lighter orange and yellow. And as you can see, I think the green and the orange and the red, or I guess the reddish orange, do look pretty nice together, and I'm gonna pull in that pink paper that you can see on the left side of the screen later on. But we're just gonna let that brush lettering dry first. And now I'm tearing some more paper off of that craft paper sheet that I got from Baumkuchen last year. And I'm going to try and create a background for the left side of the spread, because the green paper that I used, even though it's super pretty and nice, it has a slick surface on it. So if I try to journal on it, the ink's just not going to adhere onto it. So I wanted to create a space for me to journal, so I'm using a mixture of that craft paper and that same gray post-it, and I just trimmed it down to size. And while I was blabbering, I also glued down the pink paper onto the right page. After cutting the pieces of paper that were hanging off of the page, it was time to glue the Coldplay concert ticket onto the page. The ticket was a little bit too big, so after gluing it on, I had to trim off the edges a bit, but it did fit fine afterwards. Since the brush lettered quote was drying for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, it was finally dry, so I decided to trim it down to fit on the right page. I wanted to keep it a little rough looking and torn, so I used a ruler to get a smoother tear on the 2 vertical sides and tore the top and bottom of that page a little bit more free-handed. And then, as usual, I used my trusty glue stick and I glued that onto the right page, and I made sure not to cover the pink paper that we glued on So we are almost done actually. We're just going to add some finishing touches since the backbone of the spread is finished. So I took out this Recollections clear acrylic stamp set and I pulled out the large and small size star and I just stamped the stars all around the brush lettered quote with my red ink. I believe this is a Versa Magic ink. And I thought that the stars would add a little bit more to the right side of the spread, and the stars did match the brush lettered quote, so it wasn't like I was just adding random elements onto the spread like I usually do. And after stamping those, I basically took out my, I think this is a date stamper. I don't really know the technical name for this. I guess it's a date stamp. And I stamped it onto a brown craft paper label, and I put that on the top right corner of that calendar sheet. And here I basically was fussing around with washi tapes. I don't know, I think in real life this took me 5 minutes. Like, I put down a few strips of washi tape, but I don't know, I think they looked, I don't know, it just didn't look right on the right side of the spread. There was already too much going on with the stars and the washi tape, so I basically peeled everything that I taped onto the spread, and I ended up just keeping that red piece of washi on the right side, the bottom right side of the spread. And I gave up with the washi tapes and I decided to do some more stamping. So I took out my Recollections clear acrylic stamp set again. A lot of people ask where I got this stamp set, and I think it's from Michaels. I don't know, it was a gift, but I'm pretty sure Recollections is a Michaels brand, or a brand that they sell at Michaels. So you can get that on, yeah, you can get that at Michaels or probably on Amazon as well. I'm rambling, but basically I'm stamping Coldplay vertically near the date that we created earlier, and I was scared that the ink would rub off of the grid paper, that green grid paper, because it's a little bit slick, but after letting it dry it didn't budge, so that was a good thing. And then I used my classic-y, I think it's a porcelain stamp. It's one of my precious looking stamps, and it just says message on it, and I stamped it on the top left hand corner of that post-it where I'm gonna do the journaling. Sorry if I'm not making sense. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I think I did, but I'm doing a one take voiceover. Well, multiple takes, but I'm not fussing over the voiceover as much. So if I'm, I don't know, saying or making a lot of weird, see, I'm doing it right now. I think I'm just gonna stop and just start talking about what's happening on the spread. So basically I pulled out that sticker, that, yeah, it's like a label sticker, and then I peeled off this British stamp since Coldplay is a British band, so thought that would make sense on the spread. And then I tried, or I guess I attempted to add more washies onto the page, but I don't know, I moved washis around multiple times. So you saw me put down that green washi and then that brown washi, and then I put down another classic-y washi. No, it's a Camel Garden washi, and I moved that red washi tape earlier. So basically it took me a long time to get those washis onto the spread, but we're finished. I don't think the camera caught it, or my camera ran out of battery at some point, but I basically taped down the ephemera pieces that say journey and our trip near the concert ticket, and we're pretty much done. I'm gonna do the journaling off camera. Well, I started journaling, but I remembered that I was being filmed, so I stopped. But this is the finished spread. I know I'm a little bit incoherent and all over the place. I drank way too much coffee and it's pretty late at night, but I still wanted to get this video out there for all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and actually, don't forget to hit the bell icon near the button that says subscribe. So if you have already subscribed to me, make sure to click the bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos, because apparently YouTube is glitchy right now. I don't know the whole story, but yes, don't forget to do that. Have a great day or night. Bye.